Welcome, everyone. I'm so pleased to see everyone and to have another exciting meeting. We have lots of good talks coming up, so I'm sure it will be very useful for you. I just wanted to make a few comments before Marco takes over. After 37 years of serving as chair of International Planetarium Society Portable Planetarium Committee, I am stepping down. And it's been an incredible journey and true honor to help guide our shared mission of expanding access to the planetarium experience around the world. I'm pleased to announce that Marco Ávalos de Tal from Costa Rica has graciously agreed to step into the role of chair. Many of you already know Marco, and he brings a wealth of experience, creativity, and dedication to the portable planetarium community. So I am sure he will continue the work in very good fashion. I will not be stepping down from the committee. I will work with Marco and the rest of the committee and all of you to continue the good work. So I'm not going anywhere, but Marco is going to take over the bulk of the duties of that chair. So I thank you for your support and passion and all the good work you do, and I look forward to many more years of working together. And Marco will be taking over the column probably in January. We'll switch over. So together we will write the December column and then he will be taking over. So that's wonderful news. And thank you so much, Marco.
Well, thank you for your confidence. And I would just want to do this if it is going to be fun. So I warn you, it has to be fun.
Yes. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you can put the agenda up on the screen for us so we can.
Marco, unmute, please.
No,
Now?
listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all of you have the permission to share when it's your turn. And let me just find here the agenda. Okay, you can take a look at that. So thank you beforehand for everyone who is going to participate today. It's amazing. It's still going to take us about a couple of hours. So even it looks a big agenda, I'm pretty sure we will survive this and take good advantage of it. And we'll start with Lionel. He has a couple of topics. We'll go together, right? Let me just stop sharing because I lost my mouse here. Okay, Lionel.
Okay, it's oh, I share the audio as well, and not for video to be great. Okay. And here we go. So I want to be talking about Hipparchus Circle, but the Hipparchus hula hoop, which is a distortion of the Hipparchus Circle that you may know. And we wanted with Loris and Francesca here on the picture to develop something related not exactly for the planetarium, but the planetarium itself can be a tool to use this outside of the dome. So As you may know, Hipparchus was from more than 2,000 years ago. And what is on this stamp is, in fact, what could look like an armillary sphere, but in reality, it's more or less the Hipparchus circle, but with more circles presented on there. We will concentrate on just one circle, and the circle will be represented as the equator. And here on this picture, you can see the globe, the Earth's globe, and it can be useful to have a globe that can be oriented in any directions, and having it any position on top of the globe. And for example, if you live in France, you have to put the France on top and orientate the globe, sort of having the north and south direction accurately positioned. That way, it can be useful to materialize the equator circle and the equator plane as well. Doing that, you will need to talk and explain to the children, to the students listening, that we will focus on the equator. And if you live elsewhere, or if you want to put the equator, for example, Congo, here on top of the sphere, it's like you were located in Congo. And if it's your real position, it's very interesting, because if you are outside and you have the sun shining, the sun will give the light to the globe, and only to all the places on Earth where it's daytime. The other part, which is not lit by the sun at this moment, if you oriented it well, for me, for example, placing the France on top and having the north-south line well oriented, depending on the position of the sun, it will lit only a part of the globe, and this part, you are sure that everybody located at those positions lit by the sun from your position are in seeing the sun at this moment, which is very interesting, because you can talk, and having this in some places, you can have a globe with the position and the orientation, and then at any moment of the day, you can see where the sun is giving light. So now we will concentrate on the Earth's equator. And if you place it well, you can have something that is valuable for audiences outside. And it's a way to talk about the equator plane represented here, well oriented, of course. And if you look at it when it's winter time, as you can see with the what the child is wearing, you have a big circle visible, and it goes from one side to the other, following the path of the shadow due to the sun that is emitting light. And if you are in summer solstice or close to summer solstice, of course, the sun shape will be shorter and more positioned here close to the circle, the equator circle represented here as the Hipparchus Circle. And it will navigate with smaller shape when it's close to facing south if you are in northern hemisphere. And if you are exactly on equinox, the circle will be represented as a line, and the line will follow its path from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. So it's only the shape is only a line if it's close or exactly the equinox. So in 20 of March or 22 of September. That's something interesting to have in your museum or close to where you have people coming, or you can build your own, but that can be transported and do the experiment if you manage with a compass to place the right direction. And here it's a little animation of a more complex Hipparchus circle with the tropic circles as well represented. And it shows the path of the shadow during the day at a different moment. I won't... can I accelerate? Yeah, no. So now about the activity. Imagine you have hula hoops and a great number of hula hoops you can share with other children in the audience. And by pair, I mean two of them doing this experiment with just one hula hoop. If you are limited in the number of hula hoop you can have. And imagine that you explain that, well, it's the equator circle, okay? And you can also figure the axis, the polar axis, and you can explain what it is if your home or your your place is well oriented, like most of the houses can be, because they mostly are facing south. So it can be a good way to do this experiment with parallel lines and orientation due to the walls. But you can explain how it looks if you are at home. I mean, here we were close to 45 degrees in north latitude. And here, if you are located in North Pole, and you have the equatorial plane that is parallel to your horizon plane, or here, if you are located in the equator, and at this moment you have the equator plane that is orthogonal to the plane where you walk here. So explaining that will permit to the students, to the pupils, to locate where is the sun, depending on when you do the experiment, and explain that, well, the sun is higher or lower than the equator plane. If lower, if you are, of course, close to winter, or it is higher than the equator, higher than the hula hoop here, if you are in close to summer. And that way you can tell. So if you place your hand under the hula hoop, that means it's winter time. Or if you put it on top of the hula hoop, then it's summertime also. Or if you put it right on the equator, you're close to the equinox. And then, having explained that, you can tell the students to do the experiment, like in Simon Says. So show me your location. Imagine you are on North Pole, and they have to change the orientation of the hula hoop depending on the place you say they are at this moment. And you can add, of course, the moment of the year. Imagine it's winter, so they have to place their hand under the hula hoop, or if it's summertime, above the hula hoop. You also can explain that depending on the hour, the position of the sun will be at different place, facing south and facing its higher position. So the higher position of the hula hoop at midday. So here, for example, at midday, here, like I put my arm there to notify that it's the morning, and here that it is the evening, that you have the sun at this position. And knowing that, you can have all the children experimenting, and you can see who is right, who is wrong. And what is interesting is that if some are wrong and some are right, let them discuss. Well, discuss with your neighbor. If he doesn't choose the same answer as you did, explain that you are right, and try to force him to accept that you have the good answer. And then by discussions, they can tell, and they can tell with their own words, to say, yes, it's morning, so it's located there, like it is at school or so, because it can be done in schools. That way, if you go there with your mobile dome, it can be interesting. And so with the discussions, you will get all the attendants with the right answer. I hope at the end of the discussion, they can have for 1 minute to tell why they choose this or this to their neighbor facing them, or above or behind. And we can imagine going further with this experiment by telling, well, we are no more at home, we are no more on the equator, we are no more on the North Pole, but we can be at the South Pole, we can be at the Southern Hemisphere, and then change location and give more complexity without telling them how it is at first. So they have to find the right answer with the hula hoop to place it the right way, for example. We can imagine that you can give a position, date, and time, and with the hula hoop, and they have to guess where it is, where we are also, and many other things to develop the activity. And you can also go into the planetarium with the circle, but adding another circle, another hula hoop, that will permit to get, with a 23.5 degree of inclination, the ecliptic. And that way, with the ecliptic and the circle position into the dome, you can imagine having the written with your planetarium system. Even some optomechanical system do have equator line equator circle and the ecliptic. So you have to manage to get the proper orientation of the two hula hoop in order to, but you have to be as close to the center of the planetarium as possible. And then if the orientation is correct at the date and time, and you can draw the position of Venus, of planets, of the sun, of the moon, if it's visible outside, it can be useful. And you can place markers inside the dome on the hula hoop of the ecliptic to represent the position if you are located at the center, and where you have to put the markers to represent Venus, to represent the sun, to represent the moon, to represent any planet you could expect to see outside. And then you can go outside, placing the circle the same way, the two hula hoops the same way, and then you will be able to see, if you are at the center, you will be able to see, to visualize the direction of the sun. So it can be a validation for that. If it's visible, you can manage to locate that way Venus, because it can be seen with naked eyes during daytime. If you have something masking the sun in order to have a better contrast, and also the moon. Of course, it can be easier that way. And that's all what I wanted to say about this activity. So the two other options I told before, to build your own globe in the school, for example, or the Hipparchus Circle in the school as well, or in your museum if you have some room for that. So if you have any question, maybe I wasn't unclear sometimes, sorry for my bad English, but if you have, please tell me. No questions? Okay. So, oh yeah, there's one, please.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for such show. What meaning of your of Hipparchus relate to or so tell me of your own circle.
I'm sorry, but we have problem to understand you clearly. Can you write the question on the chat, please?
Thank you much.
Oh, Andreas, no, I don't have a manual how to build these things, but for the orientation, you have to know that it's the angle you have to put the equator plane, in fact, is 90 degrees minus the latitude you are. It's not the angle for the latitude is for the Polaris and the axis of the pole. So the equator is 90 degrees from that. So you have to put 90 degrees minus the latitude to correctly orientate this. That can be tricky to build living in France, it's close to 45, so it's easy to have the same dimension in X and in Y. So it's quite easy to symbolize if you do it manually, and it's not important if it's too precise. But to fix the stands, you mean for the two hula hoops? Yeah, you can glue them. You can put a way to fix them if you can, or yeah, you have to put some axis. And in the example, it was made in metal, so it was something that could resist time easily.
I would like to say a few words, Ken, just to present, for example, the best situation for the use of the experience that Lionel present. Imagine a large gymnastic room is the space, or outside the school, obviously, but we can consider a gymnastic room because in this way there is also the space for the inflatable dome. Therefore, before the lesson inside the inflatable dome probably is the best, and then we continue with a workshop. But I would like to give you the idea that a full classroom, each student with a hula hoop, therefore need a space, because obviously around each student needs some space to move. And imagine that, for example, Lionel ask to the student to represent the different situation that he described before. And there are many questions that we can propose to the student, and will be very funny to see the reply. And therefore imagine the situation, no? The wrong reply, the correct reply. And also in this presentation, sorry if there are not images with students, it could be very interesting, but we prepare this experience in the middle of August, therefore no school open, and also in Italy next week will begin the school. But really could be very interesting if some colleague try to use this idea, obviously explore many other solutions. But for example, in Italy, it's very easy to find hula hoop in each gymnastic room. Therefore, it's not necessary to buy this tool. Is already available just in the gymnastic room. Therefore, a very expensive experience, but can be combined with the inflatable dome, as we said before. Lionel. We can imagine also to fix the position on the circle of the different the sun and the planet. Therefore, to imagine the daily situation of the position of these bodies, and we can imagine many things. The first image that Lionel showed is a classical Hipparchus Circle that many times has been fixed as permanent in a garden, in public garden, for example. We prefer, in my case, to use a mobile a circle. That means that can be transported easily in each place. And also, there are no images about that, but the circle is not fixed, is mobile. Therefore, we can change latitude, any position. And this is useful for the introduction about what happened, the different shadow produced by the instrument, and then follow the workshop. Therefore, I invite you to experiment this idea activity, and also to share images. This could be very interesting to see. Thank you.
Okay. Marco, do I have time to do the SpaceCrafter
You can do the other
presentation?
one, yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I will be short as possible. I will share. On the other screen. or maybe not. Oh yeah, I tried, but I have to connect. Sorry, I didn't. Oh, maybe we can move to the next presentation because I have to prepare and it'll take some time because I didn't do it before.
Sure, we can
Thank
do
you.
that. And we can continue with Bryant. He has some creative things he has been doing with the planetarium from Paraguay, right, Bryant?
Hi, yes, I'm in Paraguay right now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. Has been a lot of time since my last meeting with you here. Well, I'm going to share my presentation, please. Just for a second. Well, again, here with Planetarium Canopus. This is a planetarian experience here in Paraguay. I've been living here the last 3 years, and I've been trying to develop different projects related not only to astronomy, but also with planetariums, because Paraguay is a small country in South America, but it's more or less the size of Texas, just to have an idea there in the United States where you are, where most of you are. And here in Paraguay, there are only 2 or 3 planetariums, including mine, which is a mobile planetarium. Those are the different states or departments here in Paraguay, and the red spots are the places where we have gone to work with our planetarium and other activities. We are between Bolivia, Brazil, and Argentina, and sometimes I have gone to those countries too to share with other planetariums the experiences we develop here in this country. We are now here in Asunción, which is the capital of the country. And sometimes we are travel not only to schools, but also to different communities and share experiences because, for example, the north of Paraguay has the best, clearest skies, and not light pollution at all. And in the south, there are a lot of movement of astronomy, amateur astronomy, and it's very nice to travel and do different activities with the time. This is our planetarium, and this is our pictures of activities we have been doing. The last month in between 2022 and 2025, and we have a difference between planetariums here in this country because we develop our own content, live content using different software, as you can see there, and the software that we used to use more than others is OpenSpace project. And I have to say hi to Alex Brockwich. He's there. We use OpenSpace project, we use Mitaka, and we use Universe Sandbox or Space Engine to develop different content to show to our children or our public when we have some activity. And here in the next picture, you are going to see, for example, the different pictures that we have taken between presentations. So the most of these presentations are done with OpenSpace project, this software that allows to do a lot of things, even a dinosaur shows in a space, in an astronomical software. This is some videos of the activities we do inside our planetarium. They have no sound, just for this presentation. We do interactions with children. We have the slogan that the universe is in your hands, so they can, for example, raise their hands and try to touch what they are seeing and interact with Wally, which is our pet for saying. They can sign the constellation they want to go, or they can speak during the presentation, asking where they want to go. The most of them always ask black holes or another planet, the sun, for example, and we live interaction allow us to go where they want to go or where they want to learn. we have more than 50 topics that schools used to pick when they hire us, for example, or when we are going to participate in a special show. We do a different schedule of topics. And we have been growing organically in social networks. This is our social networks. For example, if you want to follow us and create this community, Planetarium Canopus because of the star, of course. But we, in this year, we have developed 2 projects. The first one is keep traveling across the country and visiting different cities. And this is one of the pictures we have taken in those different cities. We have been doing the same that we do here in Asunción. We have developed not only the activities inside the planetarium, but outside planetarium, we use VR glasses. We have here the VR class, experience, and we develop our own content to share with people during the time of they have to go to inside the dome. And we have developed the light painting inside the planetarium. So we have a small camera with our cell phone and a tripod, and we use cellophane paper to put in their lanterns of their cell phone, the torch of the cell phones, and they draw whatever they want, creating art, light, and playing with light, and doing a lot of artistic representation or creativity. This is our team. I'm not working alone. I want to introduce you my teamwork. Edina, she's our astronaut, the first Paraguayan astronaut, only worked in our planetarium, of course. Samantha, Sebastian, Lucas, Damian, and we are a happy team. Look here in the center, we are dancing. And we dance when it's cloudy because we also do activities outside. We, for example, have 8 telescopes, and we used to go to the bay here in Asunción, across the river or close to the river, and see with our telescopes. But when it's cloudy, we start to dance to move the clouds away. But on the second project, it is related to the local projects of International Planetarium Society that we were selected to build this, the school planetariums made with cheap resources. And well, we were working on it with a delay because we were selecting candidate schools to allow us to build these planetariums or small planetariums, because here in Paraguay, it's not allowed to build structures inside a school, but because bureaucracy and different rules. But we start with a small prototype that we present as a part of the project. Here you can see, for example, the progress we were doing. We were working at the beginning of this year. And then we applied this presentation to present to schools. We developed this program. We present this prototype into the schools, and they allow us to develop the big project. Just one project or just one school allow us to build this dome, ecological dome or eco-dome that we named. And it was during the winter, during May and June of this year, because the students were in exam season, and we cannot interrupt the students during the construction of this dome. Here is the result, and it was built here in Guairá, in this department, in the middle of Paraguay.
Bryant, excuse me, you're no longer sharing the screen.
Oh no!
Just in case.
Wait.
No, it is still sharing.
It was okay.
Okay.
Marco, did it crash?
It was
Okay.
crashed. There it is. Thank you.
Okay. Well, we were building this dome in the National School of Guairá here in the middle of Paraguay, in the center of the country, and we built about 40 triangles to build the pentagons, and the base is made of wood. The wood we painted, and then we built, and we received the help of volunteers who lives close to the school, and they knew about this project. Parents mostly, they were involved into the project because they wanted to have or be part of this for their students. So we started with the base in the first day, made with wood, and we have all these the resources to make this possible, the different tools to join every single piece of this wood. And we used the second day to build the pentagons. We used gloves even to not create marks or spots into the material, the material we used. We use tapes just to join the triangles and create the pentagons, and then we raise the structure to create the dome. As you can see, it was a teamwork. It lasts about 4 and 6 hours each day. And well, this is the final result. I took too many pictures, and I didn't know which one select to this presentation. But the challenge, the real challenge was to translate the dome, to take the dome to the base, because it was work that we have to rise the structure between 8 people and then put into over the wood base. But it was fine because there is the result. And then in the inside part, we built a tripod, and we add this projector into in front of the spherical mirror. There we played some videos, and not software, but some videos in order they can. Wait a minute, please. Okay, we use these videos, for example, of dinosaurs or videos of the universe, installing the sound system, which is 5.1. And this is the tests we made with the teachers of the school, 4 teachers that helped us. And this is the day of the first show with public, where we select some grades of the school, and they were in the first day, and it was really a very beautiful experience, because it's the first time that a small planetarium or a project as a planetarium go to this country. We didn't take our inflatable dome. We only made this, and it took about 1 month to create everything, not only the project, but to print the resources and to bring people. And it was a really nice experience to work with them. The planetarium stay in that school, but they save again into the box, and they say that in other moment they were built by their own. We expected to build 5 of these planetariums in Paraguay, but we only have 1, and the other 3 or 4 maybe in the next year we build. We have the resources already, but we need the places to build it, because, as I said before, schools are very strict. If we are going to take some project to them, even it's free. It was free for them. We didn't charge any cost to build the project, but the bureaucracy is very, very difficult here in Paraguay. And that's all I have to say. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And thank you for the time.
That was great. Bryant, what size is that dome that you built?
It's 5 meters diameter.
5 meters.
2 and 2.5 in height.
Oh, great.
And they can have 15 people inside.
Do you have problem of temperature coming up during the presentation due to the people inside, or do you have some air vent inside?
No, well, we built this in the middle of the winter, so there were no problem with the temperature, but the place where we are have the air conditioner and regulator of temperature inside. So I think let's see if in the summer probably we go there again and see what happens.
Thank you.
Okay, more questions? Do you have the plans, the building plans?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Can you share?
Yes, we have.
Okay. Can you share that for measurements of the dome size or cardboard size?
Well, I can share with this with Marcos, and he will share with you in the official
Okay.
pages. This is part of the project of the local project, and I have said that I had to present this report in May, I think, and I forgot this. Not only forgot because the project was not ready, so I couldn't share this report before, but now I have the report. I can share it without problem.
Okay, it's look very nice. It's look very good.
Yeah,
But
congratulations.
why you should set big entrance? Why you set small entrance there? You can fit in 6 feet or 5 feet. Like that. Why you start that?
Sorry, I cannot understand.
The planetarium entrance. Do you have the board planetarium, right? You do the one project planetarium. Why you shot the planetarium entrance in 2.5 feet? Why you put the 3 feet or 4? The planetarium entrance.
Oh, can someone help me, please? Because I cannot understand.
Or maybe you can write it down in the chat. You can write the question so
Yeah, okay. I will do it.
Better.
I will.
Thank you.
Just to add something there, Bryant, I was always wondering, how do you get rid of the seams in the dome so that you don't see the lines? Maybe if you tape them and then spray the whole thing, maybe you can make them disappear.
Yes, we tape them. We tape them, but the idea in the school is they paint, they personalize their dome, because outside it's just round the paper, but the idea is that the students can personalize them or paint, and they cover in order the lines cannot be seen.
No, but I'm talking about the inside, about the projection surface.
I didn't know what to do with that, and so I decided to let it just white.
Well, I would do that. I would tape and then spray the whole thing. Maybe.
Well, probably I'll try in the next project.
Yeah, because with a little bit of tape, the angles will be smoothed. And that way, when it's moving, especially when it's moving, because with the night sky, it's not a big deal because it's just dots. But when the sky is moving, you can see some distortion, and having tape, white tape on the edges makes it looks more smooth and less wrinkled.
Yeah, I tried to tape with a white tape, but I didn't find the exactly color, because there is a difference with the tape. For example, this one I have here is not the same color of the inside of the dome, and sometimes it can be worse. So for that reason, I decided to not fix this.
But you paint afterwards. You paint everything on top of the tape.
Yeah.
That's how I fixed my mobile domes. I just painted them inside. Okay, great. We should move on. So any questions, you can keep it on the chat, and maybe even Brian can keep answering questions in the chat. So we move on with the presentations. Lionel, do you want to do the other one about the SpaceCrafter, or do we keep it for later?
Yes, it's possible if it's okay with you.
Okay,
so
you
I
have
will
30
share.
seconds.
I will. I try to do it. Okay, allow entire screen. That's it. So I will present now SpaceCrafter a little bit, and the software is something that for me is very interesting to present the sky of every day, because it's simple to use, and you have the possibility to get the instructions on how to use it with keyboard functions. And with the keyboard, you can manipulate all the commands. And the commands are very numerous, because you can have the key by just pressing the key. You can use C is for control. So you press control and the key. Here the key 1. And you can press shift and the key, and you get some other result. And you can press window and the key. But if you are using SpaceCrafter, the software I'm presenting on Windows, the Windows key is bound to window functions. So it's the same as pressing Alt-GR key to do the same thing as Windows key. And you've got the second key. The second is the key that is just under the escape key. So this key is a dead key. That's why you have to press it and then press another key to have the function like this one. You have to press second, this key, and just after you have to press 2, and you get the planet's orbit in this case. So that makes a lot of functions, because here it's in the order of the keyboard. And you have to know that here the position of the key in the keyboard is important, is relevant, and not what letter it is written. So if you have another keyboard, the position in the keyboard is important, but not the letter or what it corresponds to. So here you've got all the functions, and you have also the possibility to plug a joypad to get other functions as well, making it more relevant in some cases. So the software permit to do a lot of stuff. Here you've got the equator and the ecliptic that I was talking about. And then by selecting Venus, you can now put it on the Hipparchus Circle that you've made. And I launch it again, the software, because I did too much things, and it doesn't like zoom in some cases. And I will present just some quick features that you can use on every day. Here you go with your position. If your position is not set by default, you have to go into the config.ini file, and you can manage all the settings. And at the end, for example, you've got the location. So you have to put latitude, longitude, and altitude, and all the elements are here. And you can have auto screen at true to get the entire screen, and depending on the resolution you have with your video projector, it automatically be selected. But you can here have a window view in order to see more things for my presentation. That's what I chose this way. And here you've got the render size. You can put here, for example, 4096. And in this case, if you capture images, if you capture a video sequence, it will be captured at this resolution. So that way you can bring it to higher resolution dome, the content you have done with the software. And 0 is for the native resolution. Now we can see some quick functions. So you can accelerate time by pressing the L key. So that way, no, it's not doing the stuff. Okay, by pressing the L key, you accelerate time, and you have functions to automatically set to the night sky, but I won't show it. And you can have the sky for this night, and you can also step to 1 day, and you can see that tomorrow there'll be an eclipse visible from France and from Europe, and you have the color of the moon at sunset that will be red. And if I accelerate time, you will see that the eclipse will be away soon this day. It's possible with the software to select with the mouse, but also with the joypad. It's better because with the joypad you move in latitude and longitude, and there are functions to zoom on the object, and you have the satellites as visible this night. Or you can also have the possibility to go there by pressing Windows plus this button, and that way you will move there. And that way it's possible to use the joypad because that way you can get above or under, or see that there's a shadow of a moon passing on Saturn at this moment. And so you have the possibility to talk about Saturn and the rings another way, I would say. And to get back to origin, you have to press second and then this key, and this key will reset everything. But it's the same with the home key, or you've got the possibility to have the end key, and the end key will provide you to the beginning of the night. So it can be useful if you don't want the people to be blinded by too much light of the blue sky if you were already at night time. We have managed to do some extra functions, and like, for example, a second here, and you can go to just before the beginning of the day, but at night time. And that way, if you press second plus Z, you have the zenith, but it's not what I wanted to tell, but it's Windows plus Z. And that way you've got the zodiacal light. So zodiacal light is visible if it's less brightful than the Milky Way, but it can be seen in autumn at the end of the night, because it's well placed and well separated from the Milky Way, and the angle is quite good because it's located on the ecliptic. And so with the software, it's possible as well to draw the lines and to have constellations and to have constellation names. And the names of the constellation compared to Stellarium, many are using Stellarium, but Stellarium is not intended to be used into domes for me. It's better to have constellations with the orientation of the name fitting with the curvature of the dome, and that's better to have it like this. And a lot of things are made for dome use, and especially if you want to play videos, you can play videos inside the software. So that way it's smooth, because it appears and it disappears with alpha channel, and you can also play some rectangular videos the same way. For example, this video or this other about turbulence. So it's duplicated in order to be used into a circumferential seating. So that way people can watch clearly, and you can orientate north, south, or east to west with your video, or even having 3 times the same video. And something else, when you play a video, it's possible to, by pressing the key D, to duplicate the video in order to have the important facing zone duplicated into the dome, and do it or erase the possibility at any moment. So that's all what I wanted to tell, and it's a way to use, and with the keyboard it's very easy, and you don't have to spend a lot of time learning, because the commands are quite easy to understand, and there are examples on how to build videos. I've made a new version today with the last version of the software that permits to save. So to have examples of scripts permitting to play videos, to play script, and there's possibility to play more than 50 videos by just the keyboard, and more than 50 scripts as well with the keyboard, but there are also functions to have a menu and list them, but it's better when nobody is seeing what you're doing. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Lionel. You can just add the link to the website or the software at the chat, so
Yes,
everybody can have that. It's great. It's getting better every time, the SpaceCrafter. Okay, so let's continue with our agenda today. So our colleagues from Nepal, they are been getting their own experience with mobile planetariums, and we have a couple of presentations. Can I ask if Shrestha is here to present the Bringing the Universe to Nepal presentation?
There was a question from Omar on the chat, but maybe you can write it down and I'll answer you with...
You can continue in the chat, yes.
Yeah, with the chat, because we are running out of time. Sorry, Omar.
Okay, or if not, then Suresh Bhattarai, Nepal Astronomical Society. Are you there?
Yes, Marco. I think the Shrestha is there. I mean, I saw him online. Probably.
Sorry to interrupt, but I just messaged Marco. I'll be after you, Suresh sir.
Okay.
There you are. Go ahead, please.
Let me share my screen. Okay. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I would like to thank Marco for this opportunity. And this connections was built after this year's 100 hours of astronomy celebration, as I am one of the NOC of IAU NOC for Nepal. So we are having this celebration, and then it's a partnership between IAU and IPS this year. So we thought maybe we can do something more sharing on this side. I will be talking about planetarium in Nepal. I'll try to bring some insights from our observations. Many things are in a very primitive or may not have sufficient, claim to support it, because we have very few documents to establish, many observations here in Nepal. So the first thing is I try to, divide the era, planetarium era in Nepal into two forms. One is before 2006, as a 2006 as a pivotal year, and after 2006, 2006 and 2007 onwards. So if we look at the scenario in Nepal, so there has been a lot of government effort to bring planetarium into the national system, but unfortunately there is no establishment so far. I try to dig in different informations and in past and currently looking into the informations. So what we found that NAST, when they were established around 1980s, they were having these ideas as well. But then I found that when Recast was there at the Triveni University, they also have that idea. And in 1992, there was another entity under the Ministry of Science and Technology then, now it's Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, which is specially mandated to build planetarium, observatory and science museum in Nepal. Unfortunately, it's only in design, so not materialized yet. No foundation so far we know. But you can see these nice pictures in their website. It was decided to build in 1992. It was a project by the government, but they just built the National Observatory by 2008, and recently, even it's not completed. The Science Museum is still on progress, so we don't know when they will start building the planetarium, fixed planetarium. So I'm sharing about both fixed and mobile planetarium scenario in Nepal. But at the same time, if we look at the details, we found that there is one organization, so private entity in eastern part of Nepal, now it's Kosi province, which used to have this planetarium, inflatable planetarium, mobile planetarium at their science center. It is science center come park for people. They call it Everest Science Center, and they used to have it. It's not there. So we have been in 2016, so it was not there. So it is not there as well, but they used to operate this. And the Everest Science Center was established around 2002. So probably around same time they have such facilities. And from our observation, we found that there was a tradition to rent those systems from nearby cities in India, so which is still prevailing in some of the cities in Nepal, which is closer to border area and closer to Indian cities. So probably they have done that. So we still need to dig into it. We don't see this facility anymore, but we have some evidence operating them where they say, "Yaha diusai tara dekhaincha," means we show you stars at day. So it's kind of they're promoting the facility then. during different science exhibitions. So these are the organizations, basically to government organization who are engaged, were engaged, are still engaged, in some way or other to build planetarium. But unfortunately, we don't have any fixed planetarium yet. There was some reports by NAST in one of their books by 40 years of NAST, which I couldn't locate. I had the hard copy. I tried to caught the sections to put it here. They put the planetarium this development committee then. So except that there is no further one, but they have recently requested this project report, and their report is also visible in the website, saying the science center, science city in their premises, where they also plan to build planetarium, but still in paper so far. The turning year, I would say, because in 2006, it's for many reasons, it's quite interesting. In 2006, Dr. Isshi Tabe, who is an academician at Nepal Academy of Science and Technology, and a very passionate amateur astronomer, who was encouraging Jayanta Acharya, assistant professor from Valmiki campus, which is under the Mahendra Sanskrit University, to participate in IAU General Assembly 2006 in Prague. And that year, probably from our record, he is the first one to represent Nepal in IAU. I have some records of other participation in other events, but not in GA. Maybe that's not complete, but at least the information that we have, this is the first traces that we can do for the IU participation. And this has changed many things, because when Acharya returned to Nepal, he was sharing his experiences, and there was like International Year of Hello Physical Year celebration in 2007. So he were provided some resources about sun, and he was trying to connect with the youth, young people like us in different campuses, along with in coordination with Dr. Shah. So I find this is probably the first very milestone year. And after that, in 2007, we formed under his chairmanship, and I was on general secretary until July 2014. Then I was requested to chair the society and plan its legal status as well as future programs. Until then, we were working as a loose group, trying to connect with people through our network. We did not have very much access to the social media. Interestingly, we don't have access to social media as of now. The government has banned more than 26 social media platforms. We can't access Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Twitter at the moment during this presentation. So it's quite today. And the new committee registered NASA as a not-for-profit company on 25th August 2024, confirming its legal presence in Nepal, and started Astronomy Olympiad same year, because we have done enough outreach, and we wanted to translate that into a more educational value program. And we also started teachers training program from 12, so it was kind of blending that experience together. So ADA committee was mainly amateur astronomers and undergraduate students when we were during 2007 and 14, who are mostly professional astronomers working in different organizations around the world at the moment. Some of them are here teaching, and some of them are outside the country working in different observatories, lab, and some of them are working at the data science community as well. So this rise of Nepal Astronomical Society provided, from our observations, new momentum to astronomy community, which was not visible to wider audience. But there used to be several groups, communities across Nepal as small clubs, and before 2006 or before 2007 as well, but they were very scattered. There were no much access to social media to bring everyone in, not much to have a networking platform. But when we came, we tried to contact them with different mediums, and Dr. Shah played a crucial role providing his resources to connect with them, to call them, to use. He introduced internet for the first time in Nepal, so he had a company, internet company, so he provided access to us to the internet, which we can use to connect with people, and it was quite good. And then what we did is to expand this. We formed regional hubs, because being in Kathmandu, we may not be able to reach out every places. So we thought maybe we can have regional hubs to promote more astronomy and getting closer to the community. With that mandate, we created Nordic Astronomical Society in the east and Pokhara Astronomical Society in the west around 2012, which has created further momentum in the community. And then 2015, we tested the concept, during this time in two. Then after the new constitutions, Nepal went to the federal system with 7 provinces, and we introduced our hubs in all 7 provinces with the major city, so that we can propagate our activities through these places and connect with people rather than they need to come to Kathmandu or connect with our people. So we train people from there, especially students, and send them back there, or if they are there, we go there, train them, and ask them to go more to more community around them. And when we search probably universal planetarium, maybe Shrestha can share more about it because he's into this business for more than a decade. So universal planetarium seems to be, I think it's about 2012-13. So I mentioned 13 is the first second mobile planetarium if we take the first as by the Everest Planetarium by Everest Science Center. This is not working at the moment as far as I know. They are not operating, but it was by Universal Amusement Private Limited, and they were using this planetarium across different schools, doing outreach and catering students, teachers at different locations in Nepal. Then Kantipur Planetarium around 2015. We will hear more about it and its activities after this presentation. We were in contact with Shrestha from one of our friends from Make Engineering, who is also selling telescopes and engaged in telescope business as a side business. He's mainly working for the automation, in the house and offices, but he's also keenly interested in astronomy. So after a long discussion, we convinced him that he should bring telescopes, quality optics in the market, because there was a demand and it was not easy to get telescopes in the market. So the first telescope NASA got from India, we went India, New Delhi, to take that in 2008. So it was not that easy, but these days people can have access to good scopes around them. And then around 2016, there was another colleague starting this Leo Planetaria. It was by ISMA Media. This is also not active. And from my conversations with the colleague Shrestha, and I think he acquired the property and operating their units for their more activities. So we may hear more of that in the next presentations. And there's another planetarium. It is by one of our volunteers involved with few investors, Geoscience and Planetarium. They are operating several units in eastern part of Nepal, central part of Nepal, and western part of Nepal. At least 3 units are in operation. One unit is looking after Biratnagar and Itahari. One is Kathmandu and Pokhara, and another they placed in Butwal. So there are several units operating in Nepal by them. And the first fixed planetarium in Nepal by private sector seems to be this Pokhara Planetarium by Pokhara Planetarium and Science Center and Mirror House. In 2018, there was a press meet, and it was kind of with the momentum that we have started in Pokhara in 2012. There we formed Pokhara Astronomical Society, going regularly to the Pokhara, and Pokhara have this tourism value. It's a touristic city, so people being interested to invest on this sector as well, and they have made a nice facility, at least within their limitations in Pokhara. Space Science and Planetarium seems to be new. In 2019, they are operating this kind of domes, inflatable, for their classes. And there are other organizations also operating similar situations, So these are some of the, this is not a complete picture what is happening in Nepal. This is just to give you an idea of planetariums in Nepal. So we have been trying to connect and create a database of companies operating in Nepal, based in different cities as well as nearby cities from India. But it was pretty hard. These companies are not coming in contact. Probably, we are trying, probably we grow at the same time. So they are having more, we have kind of trust issue, or they find, more inclination to the established community, or companies outside. So that is actually lagging the growth of the community in Nepal. So we hope together with IPS, our team will be able to make planetarium operators in Nepal visible within Nepal as well as to the global community. As I said, that these are some of the representative companies. So from our record, I couldn't present because I said that there was limitation in the internet and it was short time to prepare this presentation. I was not able to access the data in the internet due to the ban in social media and different platforms. From our record, at least 12 units are operating in Nepal, and a few more are rented from India for seasonal operations. So that's a good number from the day when there was no planetariums, and few, very sparsely distributed, not even in Valley. Now, at least when a school wants to have a session with the domes and the session within the domes, they actually approach different companies operating in Nepal and cater their students and teachers as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Bhattarai. There is one question, because I know many of us were wondering about you putting the domes outside in the open. That's always a thing. So Pat is asking, are those portables rated with materials that are proper to be outside?
That's a good question. I have checked some of the materials. Usually they are, if they are put inside in a big space, it's more durable because of, the constant exposure with the sun. They seems to be degraded and the quality is going away. So the inside dome, the projections is not good, very quality, it's not very visible. That I think the operators, they have to be careful while doing that. But in here, the schools are very, there's not bigger rooms to keep dome inside, inflate them. So usually they do in a basketball court, football court, ground outside. Usually they are operating outside, especially in the grounds, school ground.
Okay, we get it. And sometimes it's just needed to put it outside because there's no other way inside. Yeah, we've been there and done that. Thank you, really. If you have more questions for you can keep it on the chat, and we'll continue with the Kantipur case, Kantipur Planetarium, right?
Yeah, thank you, Marco. It's a great pleasure to be here with all the like-minded people. As Suresh Bhattarai just mentioned a lot more about the planetariums running in Nepal. From past, I remember it's been almost 10 to 12 years. I know the planetarium's been running in Nepal. So we started back in 2015, but the idea popped up near about 2012. So we are quite confused regarding starting or serving this service as a service to the students, teachers, or whoever gets benefited with this. So it took around a couple of years. We thought it about around 2012. Then we started during 2015. So we have a lot more other things also we are doing on behalf of education. So for now, maybe let's share the screen. So I'll try my best to wrap up within 10 to 12 minutes, as I have already promised Marco before through email. So first of all, I want to thank all of you present here, mostly Susan ma'am and Sir Marco. I have been following this IPS event, online event, long back. It's been around 2 years. I have been listening to you people and trying to be connected with all of you. So as Suresh sir just now mentioned regarding the ban of social media, in Nepal, it's okay whether they ban it or they continue with that decision. But we are here, we will be doing our things, what we have been doing, even more if we want to connect with each other and get things shared, then maybe we can use email or any other medium, whatever is available. So for now, let's start the thing what I was willing to mm, uh, share with you people. So it's been around 10 years and a lot more things we have been facing. As Suresh sir also mentioned, there are more than 10 units now running, but they exist on social media. Only few they have been running. Maybe they came to run for a long run, but due to some obstacles, they couldn't continue. That's really a trouble thing, and we need to think about it also as a planetarian community. So, first of all, what I would like to share is it's been really a hassle for us convincing teachers, even the parents all over Nepal. We have traveled from far west to east. So now mostly we have been operating around three to four mm, units. So the domes we have 4 to 5, but we operate three uh, required, if required. So next, what I want to say is, as a planetarian in Nepal, it's really a good thing to be serving students, little kids, as the memory reminds, right? Whatever we have been through on our childhood, we couldn't find lot more essays or lot more things which we could carry on through practical knowledge. In our schools back then, we had limited number of resources. There was no internet. I'm talking before year 2000. So what we thought is our like-minded colleagues, came up with this idea, and a lot more people in our group also have traveled all along. So they have been to science centers and planetariums within Asia mostly. So why not we start this for the kids? Upcoming generation should get benefited with this. That's why we started this. So as I mentioned already, there has been really a hustle. So our colleague was there who had started separately with the name Isma. So I acquired later on, as he have a lot more problems to carry on with this business. I must say, because he had other things and he was running it as a business. So mostly we have registered as a business in Nepal, but from the beginning till date, we have always thought not only of business, because the things whatever we do as a business should have impact. Whatever we get financially support after we serve them with something, so they need to have uh, real impact after what they have paid for. We always believe that, but in Nepal it's really tough. As Suresh sir also have traveled a lot more, he has a decade more years of experience on this. He has been on this field also. So the kids are really interested here, but the thing is, the parents and the teachers, they are a little bit hesitated to do so, because they don't want things to be carried away, because we want the day in a school, uh, a lot more school they don't have good infrastructure, so we need to manage also. So for now, I want to just mention regarding the things we have been using here within past 10 years. We started with a single dome of 8 meters. We imported it from China. So there are a lot more um, things we faced, and we tried to improve it. Sorry. So improve it. Lot more planetariums. What we found is they have pre-made, pre-produced shows, but that is not compatible as of our experience in Nepal, because the kids, they don't have general idea also. They even don't know regarding what is telescope, and lot more people in Nepal, they are get confused regarding astronomy and astrology. So most of the things, as we lot more people here are Hindus, so they are more into astrology, and a lot more television channels. They have one more specific shows for astrology also. So the people here in Nepal, they are still on 2025, lot more people, they, when we go and approach for our service or for our event, they try to explain us regarding, they want to ask questions regarding astrology. So it's really hustle for us to let them know regarding it's an astronomy, not a astrology thing. And lot more people who are into astrology, they come up with a lot more ideas to be with us and approach the schools, but we have kept it all regarding astronomy only. So for now, we have been using stellium only for the constellation and the patterns we want to show for the kids. It's really nice there. A lot more settings are there, as all of us are quite familiar with stellium. And there is one more software, Celestia, which is quite good for us also. And other, we have been using OpenSpace, Space Engine, and the Worldwide Telescope also. OpenSpace and Space Engine is really a little bit tough for us, because we need to carry all, as it is portable, we need to carry all those hardware things, CPUs and all those systems to school, although we carry other things, but we have specific CPUs for this one. And the shows, as I already mentioned, there are pre-made, pre-produced shows which are not compatible for Nepalese students. There are a lot more schools who ask for a lot more fees, but when we go and approach them, they want them to be busy, or they want to be they want their kids to get busy on hands-on activity and not the shows actually. So what we have done is we have kept our planetarium show. For now, till date, we have what we have been doing is we have our custom shows and interactive shows. We have our presenter there, and on control system also there is one person. So 1:1, they just interact with the kids, and whatever things they are curious about, we keep on asking, and to motivate them, we have been presenting some gifts also, which align with astronomy or space science or maybe science, or whatever things we could manage within that short time. We have been doing that. But yeah, it doesn't mean that the pre-produced shows are not good here for Nepalese. They are definitely good, but it takes time, because it's still in Nepal already. Suresh sir have mentioned that it's been almost 10 to 12, 15 years. The thing we have been introducing planetarium in the market of Nepal, say mostly say the schools or government schools are a lot more there. So it's really tough for them to uh, show the shows which are already pre-produced. As we try to show that thing, they what they mention is it's a film, it's a movie. So this thing we can get on free resources here on YouTube or maybe other streaming channels. So we have all till date we have not doing so. Only few clips which are interesting, just like on Back to the Moon, there are certain part which really gets motivated for students. We do that, we do present that, and other shows are there which we try to make them quite familiar with the shows. In upcoming future, obviously, we need to adapt that thing because it's what the standard is. So that is the thing regarding the shows and projection system. We have a DG sky system and Newtonian mirror also. With the mirror system, we have little bit problem with the resolution thing, and some short throw projectors also we use. And now we have been thinking of calibration multiple projection, but due to the inflatable dome, it's little bit difficult. We have been on it, so most probably on coming future we'll be able to do that. Regarding the domes, I have already mentioned before, we have 5, 7, 9 and 8 meters dome. Only the 8 meters dome we have. This one is the 8 meters dome we previously started. So it was made in China. So we imported and we started to do this. So a lot more teachers, even the guardian teachers, they asked us to convince parents a lot more time when the guardians they come to drop the kids at school. Our teammates they used to be there and they used to have the separate sessions for guardians also. Before we start for the kids, we had always been doing this. A lot more schools, the administration, they want us to convince the guardians. So although we have noticed them and the circular has been sent before by the school administration, they are not convinced. They want to come to the school premises. What is going on exactly? What is this? As Suresh sir also mentioned, Tara Dekhaune in Nepali means showing stars in a day. So what exactly is it they want to know, and they come, and once they get inside the dome, once they go through the telescope, they observe in a safe viewing mode. We use some filters. So they are quite happy, and these things also exist in Nepal. They literally they say so, and we are so surprised that people still there a lot more hard work we need to do to make them believe that these things exist, and this is the way we need to adapt to educate the kids of upcoming generation. This is the picture we have set up on the river side on Midwestern region. That is Bardia, we say. So this one is the 5 meters dome we have been using for little number of participants, and this one is the 9 meters dome, and same ways go to the 7 meters dome. So I'll take a few minutes more, then I'll wrap up. So we have been doing this on different public places as an outreach also, not unlike only for the business. As long as we have time, we are all dedicated students here in our team also who pass out from high school, and they are lot more time they are free and they want to get involved on such things, and we welcome them, we warmly welcome, and we let them do whatever things they need to learn, and try to make them participate in all of our events. Lot more kids are there who are quite who have quite interest on this, and due to the limited number of resources, they are away from it. So the picture here we can the previous one, you can see the picture. This is at our Patan Darbar Square. It was our evening thing, so we tried to ask for the light, turning off the light, but the committee they didn't allow us, so it was really a hassle for us. Later on, we managed till night we did it, and it was supposed to be 6 to 9, but it went for 11 at night. So a lot more services we offer behind planetarium, which is quite aligned with the science and other activities. So there are other colleagues also who import gadgets for this for schools and all those things. We have been working together to make it publicly rich, so that they get easily. They have the easy access for all those gadgets also. So as we have already said that we have traveled a lot more places. There are 7 provinces in Nepal, so we have already done within 5 provinces. We have lot more old age people also who were quite um, they had a quite interest. They used to see the moon and they used to say, rabbit, you can see rabbit there, is it so? Or you can see the hole there, or what is there exactly? So we used to ask them in return to observe on their own. We just used to instruct them how to observe, what is the proper way of observation, and they used to do that, and they used to uh, have benefited with that. So saying these things, so what we have been practicing here is we have been trying to trying to onboard all the schools with different communities, and we have their students from different communities, just like this one is from Muslim communities. Here in Nepal, as it is nearby, our neighboring country is India, so Muslim people are also here. Few number of peoples are here also, so their kids are the one they got benefited. This one is near to India, Nepalganj. So these are the kids. And as you can see on the picture on the left, you can see an old village lady who really was willing to observe. This was during the daytime. So during the phases of the moon, we tried to show her even whatever is visible that time also. So the other one is the one we did for the engineering students at IOE Pulchok. So this one is also from the village side, far west. And this one is on the Midwest. They had also few numbers of Muslim students, so we try to cater them also. This one is nearby Kathmandu, the capital city. The place is Nuwakot. This one is the southern part, so it is also a hilly area. And lot more people, they come and they get so much of uh, curiosity during our setup time also. It's really a hustle for us, as you people have already given your concern regarding outdoor, how it is possible to observe what kind of material you have been using on dome, as you have already mentioned. So it's really a big problem for us to do it outdoor, because a lot more schools, colleges, or even on the villages, we don't have a good proper indoor hall where we could manage this one. So whatever is manageable, we have been doing this. Even during the rain or when the wind, it is very tough for us. So next, as I have already mentioned regarding the different communities, we have been doing for the people as outreach on different heritage sites of Nepal also. We'll be continuing this, and this one is also on hillside. What we have found is they have poor interest, but they don't think it is the prior. They don't have that what to say, how I should mention it. It would not be a proper way, but they need to be informed. They need to be aware regarding astronomy. It is the basic thing. It must be there with their students, not only on the books and for examinations, but this is the thing which would easily let us know our origin, how we started, regarding the origin of all the planets, we Earth, even satellites and all that. So it's really tough for us till date. So any ways we have been managing till date. Although it is registered as a business, we have not been operating as a business till date. Although it gives us financial support, but we have been always been there. Also, we have been in talk with Suresh sir also. So maybe in upcoming days, we could align our programs and coordinate with him and do lot more things what we have been intended to do. So these are the kids who really enjoy sun gazing also. So, few more things I would like to add. Then I would wrap it off. So, few more schools are there. Even the curriculum development of Nepal, they have invited us once uh, mm, to have sessions with the teachers from 7 different provinces and lot more schools. Even the first school of Nepal, that one is um, mm, Darbar High School. Uh, it was it had a problem. It had a massive. mm, how to mention that one? It took a lot more, 4, 5 years, 6 years to reform it. The building was all collapsed during the earthquake, as you know already. Before we had a massive earthquake. So few more things I want to show our challenges during the rain. You can see how we did it. This one is in Pokhara. You can see we used to use a cooler for good air conditioning inside the dome. Lot more things we have been in hassle till date. So we would love to be uh, love to be in IPS society in any way. We would be helpful for us. We think that in future maybe any suggestions we'll try to uh, implement all those suggestions, whatever is feasible here with our resources, whatever we can manage here. So a lot more memories are there with us and the people working with us. So in future, maybe it's been almost 10 years. This September, later on, we'll have our 10th anniversary also. So on saying this, we would like to. We have been planning a little bit more. It took almost 4 years for us to come here for deciding that we would be building one mini science center. Although Suresh sir have already mentioned before that the government, they have a good website, they have some good illustration of fixed planetarium, but you would be surprised that in Nepal, in the capital city of Nepal, we don't have fixed planetarium yet. There are a lot more people who are residing here in Kathmandu, almost 45 lakhs and more people from all other provinces. They are here. They live here in Kathmandu, and there are a lot more other activities. But regarding the edutainment thing, only few things has been introduced in Nepal so far. So planetarium would really be a good approach for them to have both education and entertainment. So we would uh, most probably start after upcoming October, November, after we have very big festival, our Dasai and Tihar, we say it goes for around 1 month long. Then later on, after that, we have been planning to set up one mini science center with a fixed planetarium. Hopefully, we'll be able. We we really would appreciate if you people would help in any way, whether it would be with suggestions or whatever things you could do for us. It would be really good. Not only for us, it is the matter of the kids here in Nepal, what they have been facing till date, and this would be a good thing for people to have it as a mini science center in Kathmandu. That's it. So any other queries, whatever you want to ask, anything, so I'm here. So thank you for this opportunity to letting me to share my experience with the people. So thank you, Marco. Thank you, Susan ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, because we're so happy to learn that you have been following all of these meetings. And I really thought my job was hard, but no, I admire you, all that you have been able to achieve there. There's so many challenges with the
Yeah, lot
weather
more
and
challenge.
outside. Yes. So really, congratulations. We're going to move on with the agenda. So, but if any of you has any comment or question for them, please do that in the chat. And really, thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you, Marco.
Okay. So you can stop sharing your screen and let me put back the agenda. Okay, so we have Pat Monteith there, Monteith, with the Portable Universe.
Right. Hi, Marco. It's Monteith, by the way.
Monteith. Yeah, I was just wondering how. Okay. Well, thank you for you to be
All right,
here
let me see if I
today.
can share my
Yeah.
screen,
Go ahead.
which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't. Let me see if I can get it up here. No, I can't do that without. Okay, so we'll just do it this way. Marco, thank you for accommodating me the last minute. I really didn't intend to do this until at some point last night. But it's a project I've been working on for a while. And a really special thanks to Susan. Susan, I don't know if you remember, but you immensely helped me with several questions I had when I first bought the mobile planetarium for our local library 3.5 years ago. I'm very happy to be joining you today, and you can guarantee I'll be at future meetings. I've got some great ideas already. I'm just here to give you a quick overview of a project I'm involved in through a nonprofit organization called the Center for Science Engagement. It's relatively new, just less than a year old. And this project involves using portable planetariums to improve interest with K through 12 students in STEM and STEM careers. And I hope some of you might be interested in partnering with us. And I would be particularly interested in speaking with Bryant. I think there's some great things that we can do here. Okay, so my name is Pat Monteith. I live here just outside of Boston in Brockton, Massachusetts. And for the past 3 years, since June of 2022, I've conducted 235 shows for 4,600 attendees, largely school groups going into their gymnasium, but also senior centers. And there was even a Jewish temple that they had me do a program in a couple of years ago. Very exciting, very interested in helping with STEM and astronomy in particular. I helped the library in my community to get a grant to pay for our planetarium. And in addition to everything I do at the planetarium through the library, I also run the library's makerspace. I'm chair of the regional science fair. I mentor students with their science project. And I'm also a NASA solar system ambassador, which is lots of fun and helps to fulfill a dream I had since I was a teenager. So here in the greater Boston area, there's a STEM education crisis. And I'm sure that happens elsewhere, not only in the United States, but around the country, around the world as well. And the question is, can planetariums be part of the solution? So basically, can we revitalize STEM engagement with K through 12 students through the transformative power of planetariums? I've seen it happen firsthand myself, where students just walk out of that planetarium and say, can I go to outer space? Is that possible? And so we're starting to get the students very interested in the universe and all things STEM related. And the challenge, though, is, the STEM education landscape faces a significant crisis with ongoing struggles to identify what genuinely engages or deters youth from STEM fields. There's longitudinal studies often lack sufficient data to track the long-term impact of STEM interventions from elementary school through higher education or career outcomes. The opportunity is, can planetariums with their unique immersive environments offer a powerful yet often underutilized solution to foster long-term STEM identity formation? And the key pillars for success, of course, are to maximize their potential. We need rigorous research validation of the effectiveness and rapid personalized content development capabilities of planetariums. So the STEM education challenge is, can we sustain this interest beyond short-term engagement? And the problem is traditional immediate interventions, such as a single field trip to a museum once a year, generate temporary interest, but fail to cultivate long-lasting identity formation. Students might express immediate enthusiasm for a field trip, but this rarely translates into sustained interest or career paths, which is something that we're involved in. So for decades, there's been research that have shown a lack of comprehensive data to effectively track the long-term efficacy of STEM programs from early education to career outcomes. We believe that planetariums is a powerful medium for STEM identity formation. Teachers will often ask me, I can just show my students a video in the classroom. Why go through all the trouble of bringing in a planetarium? I'm preaching to the converted here. You all know that planetarium shows are significantly more immersive and engaging than traditional videos or YouTube shorts, providing a more profound experience. This immersion focuses a learner's attention in ways that a flat screen can't do, to lead to heightened sensory experiences, proving useful as a learning platform. Research into digital planetariums highlights a spectrum of attentiveness that influences student engagement, suggesting an optimal level for relevant engagement. And the large display and wide field of view unique to the dome format have shown to result in greater attention and learning gains. So let's be honest, a single planetarium show is unlikely to cause a complete shift in a learner's identity. That happened with me when I was in the third grade, and I went to the planetarium at the Museum of Science, turned me around completely. So, instead, long-lasting identity formation requires a series of varied and multiple exposures over time. And this is what portable planetariums can do. You can take that into the school multiple times, so students can get a variety of experiences. I've got one school now that brings me in the fall and then brings me back in the spring to reinforce what they learned the first time around. So, we're all about trying to do research and validate the impact. Can data-driven validation of planetarium effectivenesses work? I consider myself an informal educator. So, a critical need exists to bridge the gap between what informal educators like myself, and I'm sure like all of you or most of you, anecdotally know works in robust data-backed evidence. And here at the Center of Science Engagement, we aim to validate these arguments globally. The goal is to demonstrate that with sufficient varied exposure, planetariums can cause a shift in identity and expose children to cutting-edge concepts rather than just immediate engagement. This research requires collaboration with partners worldwide to validate findings universally, and I'm hoping some of you will want to participate. So the other thing is, can we quickly create and personalize content development? You know, the bottleneck of traditional methods, which is 3D rendering platforms like Blender, are really too slow and unsustainable to produce the volume of cutting-edge content demanded today. Few new shows are released annually, limiting exposure to the latest discoveries. This project here started with our interest in introducing quantum computing to youth. And it would be great to have done that in a planetarium, but there were no programs available. This happened to me several times. What can we do to correct that? So the generative AI, Gen AI, is crucial for rapidly developing planetarium shows. This technology allows for creation of new content at a pace that keeps up with scientific and technological advancements. And the quality is amazing. And, you know, I know some people say, but this is AI. How can it be as good as other things that we can get? Here's some examples of what we're working with. Here's some Gen AI screenshots. And it's no different than what you might see through some of the high-end programs that take a long time to produce. But this gets produced in about 15, maybe 20% of the time, as what's been happening lately. All right, so, you know, the other thing, and I think I've heard this once or twice in some of these presentations, is can we hyper-personalize for a deeper engagement? So, you know, let's take it a step further. Can we connect content to community identity? To maximize the impact, content needs to be individualized, hyper-personalized, and locally tuned. This means producing shows that resonate deeply with specific communities. And those of you on the other side of the globe are doing a great job of it. This customization can include content in specific languages, incorporating relevant cultural cues, and adapting to the learning levels and interests of a particular audience. Here in Brockton, our community is majority African American and includes the largest Cape Verdean community in the United States. So, you know, do planetariums actually have an evolving role in educational efficacy? I think so. Planetarium field trips have been a part of the American school experience for over 95 years, with over 150 million annual visitations to approximately 4,000 planetariums worldwide. When I looked at those statistics, I almost fell through the floor. That's just absolutely amazing. We found studies which show that planetarium activities positively impact students' views, three-dimensional thinking skills, and academic achievement. Immersive full-dome planetariums in particular lead to greater retention of learning compared to non-immersive settings. Out-of-school learning activities, including planetarium visits, have been shown to significantly improve middle school students' attitudes towards astronomy. So here's a call to action. Can we collaborate for the future of STEM education? And here's a global invitation to innovate STEM learning. Our focus remains on research validation of long-term identity effects and the rapid personalized content development of planetarium shows using Gen AI. We invite STEM makerspaces, schools, and nonprofits worldwide to collaborate on these projects, sharing ideas and expertise. This global collaboration allows for more effective outcome studies and the development of universally relevant content. So how do we empower the next generation? Okay, we hope in the next generation, there's a new era for planetarium-based STEM. The ultimate goal, the overarching objective, is to cause a fundamental shift in identity among youth, fostering a deep and lasting connection to STEM fields. This means exposing more children to cutting-edge concepts as they emerge, preparing them for future challenges. The future of planetarian programming will be a natural extension of past trends and emerging technologies, freed by new digital capabilities and the fresh talent that they attract. By embracing these innovations, we can empower a new generation of scientists, engineers, and lifelong learners. So here's some of the references that we use to, come up with some of our theories and experiences that we hope to be able to take off from. Here's a simple chart that hopefully makes this a little clearer. So, so far the STEM education has been stagnant, lacking long-term STEM identity. But then, the more research we do and the more studies that we do, we're validating the importance of planetariums. We need to find a way to rapidly develop content, and Gen AI creates content very fast. Can we personalize it? The more we can personalize and tailor to our local communities, the more people are going to be able to understand and learn better. And then what comes out? A thriving STEM education system, strong STEM identity formation. So more work needs to be done. We welcome your ideas and your participation. You can connect and learn more about us at engagescience.org. If you want to take a shot of the QR code, it'll bring you to one of our pages about our research and other activities. And if you want to reach out to me directly, patmonteith.author@gmail.com. And that's it. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Pat. I was wondering about the use of AI for several scenes. For example, I have productions that I have not completed yet because I need some seconds of this, a scene with this, and I have no idea how to do that. And probably this is the way to go to finish this.
And one quick way to do it, that opening screen I had at the beginning of the PowerPoint came out of Gemini through Google. And you learn after a while that you can refine your questions and say, create an image for me of X, Y, or Z. And then it comes back. So that original screenshot of the original image that it created had all boys there. It's like, no, I want some girls in there. And then it had, all the students with VR systems. And it's like, no, get that off of there. We want to see the kids' faces. So there's ways, if you use Gemini versus ChatGPT, that you're going to get something that's going to be much more to your liking, and something that you're going to find very interesting using Gen AI.
Great. I think I'm going to reach to you later. Yeah, thank you. And if you can add a way of reaching you in the chat so everybody can do that, I'm pretty sure.
Pat, I think also you need to get with the IPS Education Committee, and maybe you'll get some people interested in working with you.
Yeah, it's funny because when I looked at this last night, it's like, isn't this something that should be going through the Education Committee?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Great work. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great. So we order pizza and continue now with Patricia Reiff using OpenSpace in a portable dome.
Okay, sorry, I had to turn
There you
on
are.
unmute here. So let me share the screen. And I want to just show a few things that we've been doing with OpenSpace to make it easier, because OpenSpace is an amazing piece of software, but it's got a pretty heavy learning curve, and it's got so many things you can do that we try to make it a little bit easier. So I've got a 2-screen view here. This is what would come out on the mirror. Of course, it works in fisheye or flat screen as well. And you notice this is kind of dim, and I'll show you how we fix that. and this is the standard GUI for OpenSpace, where with scene you can adjust where you're going, what you're looking at. This tells you what your focus is. This tells you the time, and if you want to make time go fast or backwards or jump to a specific time. This is how you jump to a place on Earth or on Mars or on Mercury. And there's a ton of things you can do with OpenSpace. But what we did was we created a couple of user panels. And again, these are freely available, but bear in mind they're still in progress. So we have a settings panel that we've created, and we have a places panel that we've created. And so with this, we can jump to any planet very easily and adjust what we're doing pretty fast. So for example, I like to start with this view of the solar system from the angle, but I'm going to make the trails bigger so it'll be brighter in the dome, okay? And then I'm going to turn on the constellation lines. And again, they're kind of dim, so I'm going to make them brighter and thicker. Okay, so all of these things make it easier to see in the dome. It's still a little dark. I apologize on Zoom, but because I've got it squeezed down. But this way we can see what's going on. As usual, I can tip the solar system up and down so I can see what we're looking at when we're looking down on the solar system, and we see the southern sky because we're looking through the solar system to the southern sky. So I can flip it over and see what the northern sky looks like. And what you find is that when you get it exactly centered, you can find where the ecliptic pole is, and the ecliptic pole is in fact inside Draco. So this is kind of one of the fun things to do. And here's our pole star, which is of course the North Star. So these are fun things you can do just by moving around the whole solar system as a whole. But we also can go to various planets. I always like to start with going to Houston first, because that's where I live. You turn off the zoom friction, and so it will keep zooming in as you push up. Oops, I used my wrong key. And so I'm going to go to the Museum of Natural Science, and I'm going to zoom in. And because I have friction off, I can let go and it will continue to zoom in, but I got to remember to stop it. Also, when you set it up, you need to be sure you've turned on caching, so it'll remember the high resolution data, so you won't be so stuck when you're in a place that has no internet. You want to cache all your imagery as much as possible before you go on the road, because often when we're on the road, we don't have good internet. So once we're at the Houston Museum of Natural Science, and here's our planetarium, there's our sundial, and Rice is across the street. Now I can go to my night sky, and I can turn on north, south, east, west, and I can then look north. And so we can see what the sky is in the northern sky. And this is in, like I said, it's in mirror projection, but this is true. You can true with anything, and you can turn on high speed by selecting it here, or you can use the keystrokes 5 goes 300 seconds per second, and you can start to see it change. 6 goes to 1800 seconds per second. And so you can pause, you can go to now, you can go to real time and restart. So you can move around in time anywhere you want, okay? The other fun thing to do, though, of course, which is to go to the planets. And when you go to the planets, normally when you go to the planets on OpenSpace, it will be at some random orientation, which I find kind of annoying. So I like to turn on the planet's axes, okay, and then let's go to Mercury, and we'll fly to Mercury with its pole up, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so you can fly to any planet, you can orbit around the planet, you can see the stars from any planet. You can go to this geographic map and put yourself anywhere on the planet, including the pole. Okay, so if I go to the pole, I want to go with a high altitude, because otherwise it's crazy. So I'm going to jump to that location, and there's my pole axis. So I'll turn the axis off, and now I can again look up and see what the sky is from the surface of Mercury. And I can turn the local zenith on and off. And this tells us where the spin axis of Mercury is pointed. So it's really cool. You can find the tilt of all the planets just by going to that planet and looking up from their North Pole, or looking through the planet from their South Pole. So another fun thing I like to do with the places is go visit Jupiter and Saturn. And again, I like to fly in with north up, so that it again orients you. It looks normal to you. You've got the equator horizontal, and again, I can turn on and off the axes if I want, and I can zoom into any of the moons. And so we're trying to make this as easy as possible. Okay, and of course, one of the best ones on Jupiter is Io, of course. We can fly to Saturn. And again, right now, Saturn is very close to being edge on in the solar system. And so its rings have almost no shadow, okay? And the cool thing about those rings not having any shadow is that we're going to have a transit of Titan across Saturn coming up, and we've actually created a button for that. So this now takes us to the right time of day and the right orientation. We'll zoom in a little bit, and we'll speed up time a little bit, and we'll be able to see here's Titan coming into field of view. Now the problem is you can't just zoom in like you can in Stellarium. You actually have to go there. So right now, Titan from our field of view is crossing in front, and so we'll have to zoom into Saturn to actually see the shadow. Okay, so this was a one that was shown earlier with Stellarium, and Stellarium only gives you the Earth view. This really takes you there and lets you see the alignment that's creating that Earth view. Okay, so those are the kind of some of the fun things that we do. Another one I really like to do is go to the Pluto-Charon system, and what's cool about that is Pluto and Charon, of course, are going not around Pluto itself, but around the center of mass. And so if you look at Saturn's trail in the solar system, and it's having trouble because it's trying to keep up, but the trail is not inside Pluto itself. It's actually between Pluto and Charon. And so if we turn on time again, we can watch Charon going in orbit around Pluto, And the cool thing about the Pluto-Charon system is, Charon's like the moon. It orbits the same time it rotates, so it always keeps the same face toward Pluto. But what's different is Pluto also rotates at the same rate. So they actually keep the same face toward each other. So you could actually build a bridge between Pluto and Charon, which is kind of crazy. You could make your own cable car. So there's tons of things that we've created. We can go to any of the planets, and these are all just things we can do. Okay, so like when we want to go to Mars, we can fly to Mars with north up, and the default of flying into Mars uses the telescopic texture. So this is kind of what Mars would kind of look like if you were looking at through a telescope. Okay, but when we want to do some flights through some of the Mars features, we want to use a higher resolution texture. Okay, so I'm going to pause it, and I'm going to tell it to fly to Olympus Mons. And so it's going to now go, but I'm going to configure Mars to view from the surface. And that gives me my higher resolution texture map. So now when I fly to Mars, I've got the higher resolution texture map. And once you start OpenSpace, like I said, you always want to turn on caching so that these high resolution images are available to you even when you're out on the road. Now, this is a flight, okay? So it's going to go as long as I want it to go until our flight is finished. I can pause it. If I pause it, I can resume it. But if I want to actually take control, I stop the playback. And then now that I have stopped the playback, I can zoom in and see what this crack is. And I have full control of where we're flying. And the same thing with Olympus Mons. We can fly to Olympus Mons and again stop and take a look at the various places along the way. Valles Marineris is really cool. The Noctis Labyrinthus is actually, I think, just amazing. But these are flights that we created. We actually are using them in a planetarium show. So hey, let's make them available, and then we can also just jump and fly to Jezero Crater. And again, it's mad at me because you're not supposed to do something when you're in the middle of a flight. You should always stop the flight first and then goes to the next place. And OpenSpace likes to back out and come back in. I think that's so that it doesn't fly through the the planet. But anyway, these are just cool things. These are that we have assembled. Okay, and so like we want to see what the star fields are. We can take the labels on and off. We can turn the trails on and off. We can make the trails thicker. We can make the constellation lines on or off. We can make them thicker. We can make them brighter so they show up better. All of these things we have created as quick ways to change what OpenSpace is doing to make it easier for you to do this as a live place. Okay. Now, the only thing that OpenSpace does not do well, and we've seen some of this on some of the other software we've seen demonstrated today, is again, you can't zoom in if you're on a full sky view, except by going there. So one of the things that we can do is we can use our software, OpenSpace, Media Show, to put a map, say, of Mars on top of that so that you can see where you're going. Or you can have an inset of the eclipse. So when we have a button that we can recreate the eclipse from Bandera, Texas. and we can inset a video of what the eclipse really looked like. So we can use Media Show to put an image alpha channel or a video alpha channel on top of OpenSpace and have OpenSpace still running. And you use the Windows Manager to do that. Anyway, I'm doing free trainings Friday mornings. So if you're interested, sign up. We've got tons of cool things that we're doing, and this is still, new. It's still, but having a great time. Oh, I got to show you one more thing. While we're at Saturn, okay, and we got the axes on. All right, so I'm going to tip up so that I'm looking straight down the South Pole. Okay. I'm going to zoom in because I've got that pole stick, so I can zoom in and make it pretty accurate. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom out. So I'm looking up the South Pole of Saturn. And so where it's going to is showing its North Pole Star. And the cool thing is, look, here's our pole star, and there's Saturn's pole star. Their closest star is, and bright star is, in fact, our pole star. We both have a tilt of about 23 degrees, and we're almost parallel, which is kind of cool. Whereas this is where the ecliptic pole is. And if you do the same thing with Neptune, you'll find Neptune is also about 24, 25 degrees, but it's tilted the other direction. So we never really get the pretty alignments on Neptune like we do on Saturn. And on Saturn, we only do it every 15 years. So that's what makes it kind of fun. So anyway, I could show you tons of this, and I know we're running late, so I'm going to quit. But if anybody has any questions, I'll be delighted to share.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. I didn't know that you could do all of that with the OpenSpace.
Yeah, it's really amazing. OpenSpace is extremely powerful, but unless you are really good at it,
I see.
It's hard to do it in real time. Okay. Now, one of the things that we do is we create those fly-throughs, and then we can export the frames and then create a scene for one of our planetarium shows using OpenSpace animations in our planetarium shows. But we create the scenes, then we fly it and capture the fisheyes and then warp them for the dome.
Of course.
Oh, by the way, there was a question about Spanish. We do have virtually all the planetarium shows that Rice and Houston Museum of Natural Science created are available in Spanish, both Spanish audio and Spanish subtitles. All of our shows have English subtitles and often many other languages you can put subtitles on demand using our software Media Show. And so you can jump from one language to another. So I can show the English audio with Spanish subtitles or Spanish audio with English subtitles, depending on if I've got English learners or Spanish learners. You can use those subtitles to do that. And the subtitles are just a text file. So if I wanted to change one of it to create a subtitle file in Arabic or in Hebrew or in Mandarin, you can just edit the subtitle file and boom, those subtitles will show up in that language with the right characters. And it's really pretty impressive for when I do a public event in a noisy space. I almost always turn on subtitles small, so in case people are having difficulty hearing the words, they can see the subtitles. People say, "Do you mind if I do the ASL?" I said, "No, I don't mind you do the ASL, but why don't I just turn on the subtitles for you?" And they went, "Oh yeah, that would be better." So we really try to make this very accessible, both for the hearing impaired and others. One last thing I wanted to promote is that we at Edie Planetarium are now running fulldomeondemand.com. We bought it from Mark Peterson, who did a fantastic job. And so we have shows in fisheye and pre-warped available. They're very inexpensive to rent. 30 days for $3. So, if you have one group of kids paying $1 a piece, you've paid for it for the whole weekend. And it's available in, like I said, in fisheye or in pre-warped. The only disadvantage is you do need a good internet connection because it is streamed. But if you can't afford a lot of content, it's a great way to be able to bring additional content to your students.
Wow, that is great. Can you put that the information for the full dome content in the chat
Excuse
too?
me?
Can you please add the information how to reach you for the full dome?
Sure. Like I said, the trainings are Friday mornings, and I'll put the link to our training website where you can sign up for the next trainings. We train in Media Show, OpenSpace, and in Stellarium. So if anybody wants training in any one of those, we do them on Friday mornings. And if Friday mornings is not good for you, we can do a special one as well. And I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Pat. In just in case, please continue in the chat. I'm going to finish with the last topics here in the agenda. There is something happening this next week in Europe, in fact, in Estonia. There is a meeting of planetariums, in-person meeting. It's from the Nordic Planetarium Association. And they are doing something special this time, they say, because they're going to set apart an extra day for mobile planetariums. And there is actually a website that I'm going to show you. So, because there's some things that we can join online from where we are. So that's kind of cool that they're sharing with us if we can't go there. So this is the website. And as you can see, the Nordic Planetarium Association has this meeting next week from September 10th to 12th. But if you see here, there is another day that they call the European Small and Mobile Domes Day. So they added this experiment. They say it's the first time they're going to try to do this to see how it turns out. And in this day, for 2 hours, they're going to allow us to be online for these presentations. These are the people who are going to be presenting. And after that, they have workshops, and so they're harder to broadcast. So, but we have that chance to participate online. It's free. If you want to be there in person, it's just like 20 euros. I think it's because of the lunch, but it's basically free. Here in the website, they have the link for the meeting. This is the time, it's 10 a.m. for them. And I checked, it's UTC plus 3 hours. In my case, that will be 1 a.m. So I will plan ahead and and be there. But you can estimate what time it is for you. And the importance of this initiative is that it's the first in-person meeting for mobile planetarium people. And it may motivate other regions to do this kind of meetings, because regionally we can share more our programs or experiences because of language. If we do some astronomy program, it's the same latitude for our constellations, for example, so it's easier to share. But just here, I saw that they're premiering a show, Astra and Sirius, it says. It's already funded, and it says the show will be available for the community free of charge afterwards. We'll have to find out if it's possible to do the translations to other languages. But it's interesting, so keep an eye on it, and if you can, participate online. Okay, then, yeah, let me change for the screen here. Just to finish with this. Almost there. Okay. So just to remind you that all of these meetings have been recorded and they are uploaded to IPS YouTube channel. There are 7 of them already, and this one's going to be there maybe tonight or tomorrow the most. And there's a lot of useful material. So keep going back to them because there are many things that have already happened, and it's very valuable. At the International Planetarium Society's YouTube page, these meetings are already like the most popular topic, most visited videos. So it's been a thing. Let's take advantage of this material that we have been doing there. I had to remind you or tell you that we're going to set a fixed date for these meetings every 4 months for the first Saturday of January, May, and September at the same time. It's kind of been working. So for the time being, we're going to do this so you can already know when the next meeting is going to happen. Okay, just to take note of that. And this is happening too. Just to remind you that next year, the International Conference of IPS is in Fukuoka in Japan, and everyone's invited. Do I have still here Mr. Isshi? If you wanted to just extend the invitation, you can do that.
Yes. Please come to Fukuoka next year. See you and discuss about mobile planetarium. Mobile planetarium in Japan. There are several mobile planetarium. The activity is very high, so maybe good reference for you. Thank you. Please see at Fukuoka.
Okay, sure. Thank you, really. And well, with this, I think we're done for the day. As I told you, this is going to be online. So any additional comment, Susan?
Can I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Isshi, when will you be sending out requests for presentations?
Not decided. We are now talk with Shannon, president of IPS, and making program of several days. Maybe next week I will talk with Shannon-san and decide very slowly, but we decide program.
That's okay. I just want to encourage people here to maybe make a presentation. They could suggest something that they might present if they decide to go to that meeting, and I hope they do. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Marco, I can say 2 words, just very short.
Of course.
I would like only to say thank you, Susan, for all the work that you do. And also to share with you and all the audience just 2 anniversary. And my first meeting with you in 1990 in Sweden, in Borlänge, the first European meeting of IPS. A wonderful occasion to meet with you, to know and to continue a very long collaboration since now. And the wonderful visit in your facility in Syracuse, where I saw a giant archive of material available for school that in my eyes appear like a very incredible things. And I share also now a photo of the first meeting of European meeting of Mobile Planetarium. You can see Susan on the first line on the right. Therefore, just with few words to remember this. And there are initiatives that we continue to do together, and just start from this occasion. For example, the 2 weeks in Italy initiative that allow the possibility for American teacher colleague to win this experience in Italy that continues since 1995. Therefore, thank you again, Susan, for all the work, but we are sure that we continue to meet you in this occasion and obviously in the other occasion, but we do a lot of job. Thank you again.
Oh, thank you very much. And I'm not going anywhere. I will be active till I can't talk anymore. Thank you. It's been wonderful working with everyone.
Yeah, I will make sure she doesn't get rid of us that easily. Okay, well, the chat's been saved. We can make that available to you for the links. The video is going to be on the YouTube channel. And so, again, thank you for all this time, but I'm pretty sure it was an amazing experience to learn all these things. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Marco.
Thanks for hosting. Thanks for getting it all done.
Thanks, Pat.
Thank you. Good night.
Everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you all. Bye.
Good night.
Okay, see you all. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm in the meeting. Bye.